Good morning, children. This is the first lesson. What is history? So that lesson is started. Tamilini enters her house from school. Her mother, who was reading a book, greets Tamilini with a hug. She collects her school bag and asks Tamilini to refresh herself. She gives Tamilini some snacks to eat. She She then asks Tamilini about the school activities of that day. Tamilini, what subject did you study today? History, ma. Oh, nice. Did you properly understand the what history is? So Tamilini answered, yeah, I understood something about history. Can you please tell me more about history? So mother asked, what is your name? Tamilini. Tell me your mother's name, Mrs. Sumati. Father's name, Mr. Adiyaman. Tell me the name of your father's father. You mean grandpa, Mr. Chidambaram. Do you know the name of great grandpa, Mr. Chidambaram's father? Grandma always used to tell me about one great grandpa. You want that great grandpa's name, Mama? So mother said, yes, yes, your great grandpa's name, Mr. Rama Swami. Often your father shows proudly a very old wooden pen and used to keep as that it was his grandpa's pen. Do you remember it? Yes, Amma. Normally, he keep it in a beautiful wooden case on his table. Is that one? You're right, Tamlini. We came. We cannot write with that pen now, but father has keep it as a treasure. If you ask your father about that, he will show you the diary written by your great grandpa with that old pen. From that diary, we come to know that your great grandpa was illiterate, while most of his villagers were illiterate. Further, we can understand the lifestyle of that period and also about activities from his diary writings. Can this small diary record so much of news, Amma? Yes, Namalini. We understand the period of lifestyle of people of old Stone Age from used stone tools like what you understand about your grandpa and his time from his diary writing. Understood, children? Okay, now move to the next one. What are the other sources that help us understand the lifestyle of Stone Age people? We came to know their hunting style through their paintings on the rocks and the walls of the cave. Rock paintings? It sounds really surprising. Why did they draw these paintings? Mother, some would have stayed back without joining the hunting team. So, for their benefit, these pictures could have been drawn. They might have done it as a part of their pastime. Certainly, Amma, that's how we identify their lifestyle, isn't it, Amma? Well said, Tamlini. The period between the use of the first stone tools, and the invention of writing systems is prehistory. Some stone tools, excavated materials, and rock paintings are the major sources of prehistory. Understood, children? So these are the pictures of sources of history. These are the pictures of sources of history. One is that archaeological source and another one is literary source. So now see the mighty emperor Ashoka. You know about that king Ashoka. The most famous ruler of ancient India was in Emperor Ashoka. It was during his period that Buddhism spread to different parts of Asia. Ashoka gave up war after seeing many people grieving death after the Kalinga War. He embraced Buddhism and then devoted his life to spread the message of peace and dharma. His service for the cause of public good was exemplary. He was the first ruler to give up war after victory. He was the first to build hospitals for animals. He was the first to lay roads. Ashoka Chakra with 24 spokes in our national flag was taken from the Sarnath pillar of Ashoka. Even though Emperor Ashoka was great, his greatness had been unknown until 19th century. The material evidences provided by William Jonas, James Prinsep, and Alexander Cunningham revealed the greatness of Emperor Ashoka. Based on these accounts, Charles Allen wrote a book titled The Search for the India's Lost Emperor, which provided the comprehensive account of Ashoka. Many researchers made thereafter brought Ashoka's glorious rule to light. These inscriptions were observed on the rocks Sanchi Stupa and Sarnath Pillar and helped to understand the greatness of Ashoka to the world. This is the Sanchi Stupa and the Sarnath Pillar. Understood, children? See the next one. Now one can understand the importance of historical research, but for the efforts of scholars, the greatness of Emperor Ashoka would not have come to light. Do you know what proto-history is? That is the period between prehistory and history. Exactly. The period for which records in writing are available but not yet dispersed is called proto-history. So what is proto-history? The period for which record in writing are available but not yet dispersed is called proto-history. Today we are leading a safe life with all modern equipments, but our ancestors did not live in such a safe environment. There might have been chances of wild animals entering their caves, but they realized but they realized that dogs could help them to prevent the entry of such dangerous animals by its sniffing skill. Though the dog have that habit, that a sniffing skill. Hence, they started domesticating dogs for their protective and hunting activities. From this, we also know how inscription, monuments, copper plates, accounts of foreigners or foreign travelers, and folk tales play a vital role in reconstructing history. Tamlini, now I completely understand what history is, Amma. Thank you, Amma. Thank you, children. Do you understood now?